Salandina Gamba, Uza Obozando, Ganiru, Uza Obozando, Una Salandina Gamba, Uza Obozando, Ganiru, Mutuku Disika, Una Salandina Gamba, Uza Obozando, Ganiru, Mutuku Disika, Una Salandina Gamba, Uza Obozando.
You are once again welcome to Ima Biafra TV, Treasury of Excellent Knowledge. I say to you good afternoon from my best. The time from here is 90 minutes after 1 p.m. and today is Friday the 24th. I think I am correct. Today is certainly Friday the 24th of this month of February 2023. Tomorrow will be Saturday 25th. Yes, I am sure of the date. Tomorrow will be Saturday 25th of February 2023, which day the colonial nations and the Nigerian government had decided to have their election. I mean their general election, which is presidential election. But we, the IPOB, the real IPOB members, have said no to Nigeria election in Biafra land. So that is our stand, and we have come to maintain our stance. because there is no more time. There is no more time. So this is my last rush regarding the campaign of no election in Biafra land. I said to you, good afternoon from my base. I don't know whether it is evening or morning, or also afternoon or night from wherever you are watching me from, or whenever you come across this video. It is about my good intention for you. May God bless you really good for coming. I am your serviceable servant, evangelist Inimakalo Nkenke United Igwenyo. So obere agụ na-eyi ọdụmegwu ahụ uche ndị nsọ. Saga ndozi obodo. I have a lot of neojeziokwu emeri ọgụ na mba ụwa niile gburugburu. I have come to do what I know how to do the best once again. So I am also an evangelist of the Christian gospel by the grace of God, not according to colonial gospel, but according to salvation gospel. So that gospel is the foundation of all truth. And I am also a member of the IPOB Truth Bearers, but I am making this video on my individual note, so not as a group video. So it is about the situation now. Formally, you know that I used to come online every now and then as often as I could to be dishing out videos. But due to my occupation, due to my work, due to my hectic work, so I do not have chance to be coming every time. So that is the reason I have always been coming only on Sundays with my group, and we are the conductors of IPOB Truth Bearers Biafra Sunday School, which we conduct on every Sunday at 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. Biafra time, or if there is any reason for a little delay, but definitely we do have it every Sunday. I am making mention of this because of those who are going about deceiving Biafrans, deceiving our people, that we who are telling you not to go and vote tomorrow concerning Nigeria election, most especially in Biafra land, telling you that we do so because we are jobless, that we do so because we make money out of the programs we make. So it is a part of debunking their lies and their deceptions, because I have my own work and I do not make any money from my programs. Rather, I spend my time, I spend my knowledge, I spend my energy, I spend other resources, including my talent, my personal talent, to be doing what I am doing. All because I need freedom, just like our people need freedom. All because I cannot keep quiet to be watching my people dying, being humiliated, being dehumanized, our women being raped front and back, even in our presence. And those who should be speaking for us, who are so-called the political leaders, the traditional leaders, the Ohanese, the Ndiarurala, including many fraudulent religious leaders, are not speaking for us. Rather, they are speaking for themselves. They go there to represent themselves, claiming that they go to the federal government of Nigeria to represent us in whichever categories they can relate to the government and to speak on behalf of their people. They have failed. They have been failing. And for over 50 years, they have continued to fail. That is the reason we, the youths and the young ones of these generations, the younger and the elders among us, of which I am one, have come to decide that we can no longer rely on those people. So this is the reason we do what we do. It is not actually because all of us run business with it. So forget about the lies they are going about propagating against us. And those who tell you as such are those who have things to benefit from the Nigerian elections. They have things to benefit in Nigerian government. And these people are investors also in the Nigerian corrupt system that make many people, that make the oppressors millionaires at the detriment, at the life and at the blood of the afflicted. So they are shareholders with the oppressors. These are the people telling you to go and vote, using P2B as a distraction to encourage you to go and vote as a Biafran. And when the trouble will begin, when the government will gain the power they need from you and begin to rule you mercilessly once again, you will no longer see those people that are telling you to go and vote. But you will be surprised that even if you make the mistake of voting, we will always remind you of your mistake. And we will always stay to be speaking for you. It is because we love you. Even when you have not been paying us anything, we have been speaking for you. As they are telling you, we spend a lot of time, and myself, because of this Biafra agitation for over 5 years that are supposed to go home, I have not gone home because of insecurity threats. And you know how Nigerian government treats IPOB members. Don't forget that my face is on the internet via YouTube, Facebook, and other mediums in which people have channeled my video. So because of this, as we do investigate, we know the situation. So that is the reason I stay in diaspora for now. It is for security consciousness. It is not because I make money out of the programs that I do, but it is because all of us need freedom. And I believe in the possibility of us getting our freedom once and for all from the colonial bondage via Biafra restoration, rather than going through Nigeria election. So that is my belief. That is the reason I am doing what I am doing. And that is the same belief of all of us, from Simon Ekpa and to the rest of the people, we doing what we are doing. So that is what you must know, and that is our stand. And that is the reason we ask you to be part of the sacrifice. And your own sacrifice is to deny yourself the money you will make within the few days, and stay at home and forget about their election. Because when we do not have election in Biafra land, it will automatically declare to the world that we have begun to govern ourselves, even though the government have not authorized us to do such. And we cannot continue to wait for the government to authorize us to begin to govern ourselves, because as much as we wait, as much as they continue to oppress us, and that is as much as also they continue to advance and eating deep into us. So we cannot continue with that system. We cannot work or settle at watching people seeking for contracts, seeking for favor from P2B. They are seeking their individual favor. Some of these people telling you to go and vote are people who are hoping that if P2B become the Nigerian president, they will get one contract, or they will get one contact, or they will get one connection. And who knows whether they are paid for this campaign. I cannot talk about what I am not sure of. That is from my own speculation, because they have something to benefit. But they will not tell you the truth. I mean, things to benefit individually and at your own detriment. But we do not benefit anything for doing what we are doing. It is all our own benefit is when Biafra is fully restored. Anything we have to benefit, we will benefit in 100 folds. In 100 fold we will benefit. And that will be far more glorious to the crumbs that falls from the master's table, which these people pursue. So God bless you for listening. And today I am going to talk. I am going to talk on according to the title you are watching over there. According to the title, that is "Say No to the Bloody Nigeria." Say no to the bloody Nigeria.
Yo os haré descansar. Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great today. Okay, so this is a call to action. In just a few days from now,
say no to the bloody Nigeria. Nigeria is bloody. Nigeria is blood sucking. Nigeria is life consuming. Nigeria is destiny consuming. Just look at this video. The video is made by Joseph Okechukwu, as you're going to see. Then look at the title, say Nigeria 2023, an urgent call to action, part 1. Almost watched this before February 2021. Okay. Then it is in this video that I'm going to get my content for analyzing. Then from the content, I create my own content as well. So Nigeria is bloody for real. I am going to play this video. Let us hear directly from Joseph Okechukwu. While he will be speaking, I will be interjecting. I'll be interjecting to analyze.
Probably the most important election in Nigeria is going to take place. And I believe that I have a word from God on what Nigerian people, especially Christians, need to do wherever they may be on earth before that day. And I say this with every sense of humility, because I'm always very careful when I say God told me something. And that's why it's taken me such a long time to make this video, because I wanted to be sure, double check, cross check. Are you sure this is what you're hearing? And right now, I can confidently tell you that I've got a clear picture of what I believe I was hearing from God, and I'm going to share that with us. But before I share that with us, I want to give us some background information on the nature of the warfare we're about to go into during this election. So many years ago, when I was very active on Facebook, I remember one of those days when we had, I think it was like a whole month program praying for Nigeria, fasting and praying for Nigeria. I remember that there was a vision that I had in one of those broadcasts. It was a live broadcast. And in that vision, God showed me the diabolical and the spiritual dimensions to the amalgamation of Nigeria. And he took me to Lokoja in Kogi State. As at this moment, I had not read anything about Lokoja with respect to the amalgamation of Nigeria. And when he took me there, he showed me where human sacrifices were made. And he was showing me where they had an Igbo man, a Yoruba man, and a Hausa man, and sacrificed them and let their blood flow together, mixed and flowing together. And I think he also showed me that there was a mighty Iroko tree or something that was planted there as a symbol of the covenant of Nigerian union. And so, implying that when amalgamation happened, it wasn't just that Lord Lugar had written the colonial office in the UK and said, give me permission to amalgamate the Northern Protectorate and the Southern Protectorate. It also meant that beyond that window dressing political activity, there was a much deeper exercise that took place, which was the human sacrifice to bind Nigeria by blood and to connect them to a deity that rules Nigeria up until today, which is why no matter what anybody...
And to connect them to a deity that rules Nigeria from the amalgamation till death. Now, let me reflect on one of the key points he also made. He said he saw an Igbo man, a Yoruba man, and a Hausa man. These are the three tribes we call the major tribes in Nigeria, of which it is not really supposed to be so. Every tribe should count, but it is about the fraudulent system of Nigeria that make the colonialists and the indigenous managers of the colonialism in the guise of the leaders to have what they call major and the minor tribes. But Among the three major tribes, which are the Igbos, Yoruba, Hausa, from each of them, a man was killed, and their blood being mixed together as a sacrifice, which means the core representatives of the Nigerian tribes have been sacrificed for colonialism. That means Nigeria is all about colonialism and not really about freedom. So that is the point you must understand. Nigeria is made for colonialism. Colonialism is a satanic enslavement, satanic government in form of whatever, in the guise of politics or whatever. Like, for example, Nigeria will tell you they practice democracy, but what they really practice is totalitarianism. So the restructure they are telling you about is impracticable in Nigeria due to the totalitarian system. There is no egalitarian system in Nigeria. So Nigeria can never work. The Britain and other colonial nations have not made Nigeria to work. And those who have been ruling us know this secret. They know this secret, but they cannot be open to the people because themselves are under British colony and they do not represent the people as they suppose. Rather, they go there to represent themselves and to loot alongside with the Britain and other colonists, including the Arabs, which the Fulanis also represents.
It does. Nigeria keeps going backwards, and I'm going to take you to a place where something like this was documented, which many people don't even have access to. So when I saw that, I was puzzled. After that program, that same night that I had the broadcast, I began to do researches and I began to check, because for me at the time, I thought that the place where whatever may have happened, if there was any sacrifice that was made about Nigeria, it must have been at Aso Rock or something, the Zuma Rock or whatever. I kept thinking about those. I never thought about Lokoja. It was during my research I now found out that Lokoja is where the two great rivers of Nigeria met together. That's why Kogi State is called the confluence state. There was a confluence of rivers there. River Niger and River Benue came together, and then both of them joined, formed a Y shape as they flow down to the ocean. And these rivers are worshipped as the gods of fertility if you go and read a little bit more about the River Niger and the River Benue. So these are very diabolical situations we're dealing with. So they met in Lokoja, and as they met there, they flew down to the oceans. And that's why in your coat of arms, Nigerian coat of arms, you see that there is a bright white shape that is in that coat of arms. It is the River Niger and the River Benue meeting at the center and then flowing down south
the
to the ocean. Now,
white shape.
The eagle. The eagle is not a very good eagle that is sitting on top of the Nigerian coat of arms. It's a bloody eagle. This eagle represents the bloodletting that took place at the time of the diabolical amalgamation of Nigeria. The first governor general of Nigeria after amalgamation, which you know to be Lord Fredrik Lugar, governed Nigeria from where? From Lokoja. I didn't know all of these things when God was showing me that vision during prayers. People from the three dominant tribes in Nigeria were sacrificed, and their blood were meant to flow together. So there was a blood sacrifice that took place to bind and seal Nigeria. So the implication of that, God revealed to me, was that anybody who shall seek to question the union of Nigeria, that person will pay dearly with his blood, which explains why Biafran War ended as a genocide that many people know today. Why is it that Every time people want to go for politics or go into politics in Nigeria, they must sell their souls to the devil, even at state and local government levels. Why? Because the God to whom they dedicated Nigeria through the human sacrifices.
If anybody dares question the unity of Nigeria, the person will pay dearly with his or her own blood, including the blood of his own people. Then citing to Biafra genocidal war. Dim Ojukwu questioned about the fraudulent unity of Nigeria. They profiled him, claiming that he had declared war. And they gave him war, which he was not prepared for, while he was asking for the freedom of his people. And it is because of the same blood sacrificing system that make them to always be killing the Biafrans in the northern Nigeria and the other parts of Nigeria, of which killing prompted Dim Ojukwu to demand for the freedom of our people. And in essence, and this is after, which led to the Aburi Accord in Ghana in 1966. Okay, in Aburi Accord, there's okay, let them remain under one Nigeria, but let there be a power devolution or true federalism, which we popularly know as restructuring, whereby each of the provinces will govern themselves, develop themselves according to their own pace, while bringing some agreed percentage to the federal government. Then the federal government will not be determining to any of the states on how to develop themselves. Rather, they will always be supervising to see that there is justice and equity among the people. It should be the people bringing their case to the federal government and not the federal government interfering or intruding on the affairs of each of the region. After the failure of Aburi Accord, after it had been agreed, the same Britain and other colonial power asked Yakubu Gowon not to continue with it. Rather, let them stand against the Biafrans and let them continue to kill our people to maintain this bloody covenant and to continue to be looting us. Because Nigeria is all about blood sacrifice, looting, and the frustration over the indigenous people, and most especially to us, the Biafrans. So I want you to be picking many points which have been prompting us to say, let Biafra go, let Nigeria split. It is because this is part of the reasons we do what we are doing. And this is part of the reason we have said, sit at home, do not go to vote tomorrow, being Saturday 25th of this February 2025. Sit at home, relax yourself, enjoy yourself. Let us go on our way of separating Biafra from Nigeria. So that is the reason we are telling you. So it doesn't matter. Anybody may tell you anything, but in the end, he will still ask you to keep on supporting one Nigeria. It is because the person is a beneficiary in the one Nigeria system. And it is obvious that Nigeria is being sustained by blood sacrifice, life sacrifice, and sacrificing whose life? Sacrificing the life of the Biafrans, sacrificing the lives of the Oduduwans or the Yoruba nation. Who are the people sacrificing all these things? The Fulanis and the Britain. And these are the people who hold Nigeria in ransom. The Fulanis, the Britain, including their foreign allies who are investors, part of the investment of corruption in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria.
It's not the God of heaven. It is Satan himself. And he has sat upon the nation of Nigeria for all these years. Because the coming together of the North and South was not by a gentleman's agreement. It was by force. And it was very satanic. Because they knew that by the time they leave Nigeria, if this was not done with blood, that it would break up immediately. That's why the moment they had that thing done politically, they consolidated it with a human sacrifice that God showed me, which I now had to interview some elders who confirmed this to me, but said it is not meant to be heard.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars, wasting tons of time on troubleshooting with attendees? If so,
so you see today the kind of enemy that you are up against. So you see why every time there are a set of candidates running for the post of the president of Nigeria, the worst always gets the position. Because the enemy that they sold Nigeria to does not want anything good for the people of Nigeria. If you question too much, you pay with your life. The next time people tried to do that was EndSARS. What happened? Human sacrifices took place. It is not a political war. It's a spiritual warfare. We've been approaching it with a lot of emotions, with empty prayers, without knowledge of what really happened. And so with that background right now, let me tell you what God has told me to tell Nigerians in this season. So he said to me, on the 21st day of February 2023, Christians all over Nigeria and beyond. You don't necessarily have to be a Nigerian. If you love Africa, if you love Nigeria, if you love the indigenous peoples that make up Nigeria, you can join in this exercise. Because as goes Nigeria, so goes the rest of Africa. This concerns all of us. And so the clear instruction that God gave me was
some people are really blessed. When I say people get talent for this Nigeria, una no go dey believe me. E gets one guy wey just drop one banger with people.
No be small thing, people of God. Now this Authority FM Nnewi, the premises. One house I don't go pay plenty PVC when they do for inside account meeting. Carry and come Authority FM premises. As if so, all the plenty PVC when they for a year, way pass. If you don't reach 1 million, no, belongs to Nnewi North. The ones who don't check, now Nnewi North people now get this PVC. Make for tell everybody when it's happening. Your friend and friend where we shall. Your cover people when no see the PVC. Let the fan and come Authority FM compound and a person. See the people when bring a come. They can't come authority FM premises and to be like this now. This PVC, they were compound. That the people who pick and be this, they can't come, jump and they say they pick and for million. And all the ones who don't check, all of them are maybe not. Umudim more of Umudim people, open logo. Now here they can't drop ammo. In case if you don't find your PVC, go say they say no see if you waka come waka come authority FM, come begin check and if you carry check on shao, because it's plenty. Go fine. If you see your compound person own, go carry and send them. Now the people when bring a come be this, and now the bag when they say wrapper, it means say don't say. The wrapper for inside this bag we don't do like this. Put inside the booster. Control. Oga, we say it's yourself. I can't believe for side the bed I can't believe. Okay. Hunting. Okay. All right, better people. My name is Namaki, the area mama, the one that they only in the middle of the report from authority and compounds. I don't the report and I just show this evening. Now they carry on. So I bet me share this video. Some people when they say they find their PVC election and this Saturday, see the PVC. It plenty of this small, like it plenty, plenty. And never not all of them. Never all the ones who don't check so far, never not. So if you never see your own or you go down there, you know, make a carry and come authority and company and know whether you go see your own or your people own. Or not do. Thank you, boss. God bless you. Yeah.
So do you see it? The process of rigging the election, the process of rigging the election had been already executed. Many people from the Biafra land spent money which the Northerners did not spend to get their PVC. And some after paying, they will not even get the PVC. These are the PVCs that should be given to the people in their millions. The other time we heard about African foreigners, African Fulanese, and the rest of them trooping in from African countries into Nigeria and it coming with their own PVCs. Coming with their own PVCs to come and vote. PVCs you do not get in the so-called Nigeria. PVC you cannot get in Nigeria. It's being forced in millions. You see people coming with their PVC and they were just caught with the ones they had available with them. They were not caught with the ones that are hidden or the ones they had already exported into Nigeria. So the election had already taken place, even though on the physical realm, even if it is conducted, Peter Obi is definitely going to win the election, but against the will of the people. But I am not in support of even Peter Obi winning. I am not in support of Atiku winning. I am not neither in support of Tinubu winning the election. I am not in support of any of them. And in fact, I am not in support of the election entirely. But the point I am trying to make here is that the election will not be beneficial to you. And you had Joseph Okechukwu letting you know that it is all about them convincing you to endorse them. So I played that video so that you will know that I am not, and we, the Biafra Liberation Movement, are not the only people who knows the secret and can tell the people the secret. Other people also know the secret, even though they may in the end decide to support their so-called new Nigeria. But the fact remains that they know the truth, but a lot, after knowing the truth, decide to support the lies. But we have no reason, we as Biafrans, to support the lies. Most especially, we are the champions who are the champions of us, the Biafran people, for our collective liberation from the British colonization called Nigeria entity. So there is another video.
People agree to now. I greet everybody. It don't happen again. It don't happen again. APC just they do wonders. My people, when I see news where they reach our hand now, I first see this news. I can't fair keep and say no. I don't see some of my colleagues now they talk about them. My people, when I listen, me I already read that for now. Then I'll still display the picture here. Hey, hello, boy. Top news. Obasanjo blocked 100 truck containers carrying nearly 1.5 million Chadians from entering Nigeria to Kaduna to vote APC. Obasanjo received a call from a junior immigration officer named withheld that unknown 100 trucks carrying over 1.5 million Chadians got access to the Nigeria border and were headed to Kaduna. Obasanjo responded immediately around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Obasanjo called immigration boss, but no response from him. Obasanjo asked his personal security officials to block all the roads leading to Kaduna, and finally, the truck were captured. The truck with no plate number have nearly 1.5 million Chadians, all with Nigeria PVC. When they were interrogated, they pretend not to hear English. Obasanjo ordered that the PVC be collected and destroyed immediately. Chad president was phoned immediately by Obasanjo, and he denied knowing about such incident. Since there was no place to keep such a multitude of people, the truck were ordered to turn back to Chad. See, Nigerians, I want your beg now. I want beg now. Because this election now, Mago do the day, more than focus. And again, if you now want go still vote for Peter Obi, more than not still go overdo voting. Wetin I mean by overdo voting, make wetin I mean by over voting, and maybe INEC now they feel mistakenly they'll give.
Simon, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
So much is riding on this election, especially for young people in Nigeria.
So, you have had it. Millions of foreign Africans trooping from the northern Nigeria to come and support APC Tinubu, or to support their brother Abubakar or whatever. But that is not the case. But it's just, I'm letting you know that the Nigeria election is just a fraud. It is about calling your attention to give your support, for you to give your support, to endorse them to continue ruling us the way they are ruling us. That is all about Nigeria election. It is not really about freeing you, neither freeing me. So, Nigeria election can never in any way, Nigeria election can never in any way bring us the liberty we are looking for. That is the reason we must not support Nigeria election. However, Nigeria election may take place, other places. It may It may be conducted other places, but specifically in Biafra land, we are saying no to Nigeria election. We are saying no to Nigeria election because this is the time we Biafrans should come back to possess our possession, taking what really belongs to us. And Nigeria does not belong to us. What belongs to us is Biafra sovereignty. Biafra sovereignty under Biafra restoration. So that is what we are going for. So we cannot continue with the same system, because as I speak to you, it is not about changing the leaders. It is about demolishing Nigeria, because the system upon which Nigeria is established can never in any way allow any human being on earth to rule and better the people, because there is a lay-down system. The lay-down system is the system whereby Nigeria is all about looting the resources of the people, then taking them to diaspora, to the colonialist, while the colonialist gives a little of all of the loot to the Nigerian government, and the Nigerian government pack the money for themselves. That is Nigeria for you. And if you question why, you die for it. If you question why, they bribe you, or they demote you from your possession, frustrating you, or they kill you. You choose, you make choice out of the options. So that is the reason Nigeria can never progress. All of the people telling you to go and vote, they have something to benefit, because they have their political talks, they have their associates, they have their co-business men and women, they have those, they have their sycophants, those who come to assess the people, getting information for the government, and the government still settle them. So they have the people they dine with. But I am not interested in dining with them, because that has nothing to benefit me of, and that has no benefit to my people, neither to the present or to the future generations of Biafrans. So let us listen to the interview granted to, the interview granted to Simon. A lot of us have heard about it, but let me play it a little.
They're desperate for change, is my view. Why are you so determined to undermine democracy?
I think undermining democracy is not the right word. Rather, promoting democracy. You give the people a choice. And the choice of the Biafra people is a referendum. It's also a democratic process. So that is not undermining a democracy. More accepted democratic process is when you give the people choice to decide their fate.
But they have a choice. This is an election which will be following democratic.
In Nigeria, Biafran people do not have a choice. And that is a historical problem created by the Britain. So everybody, as you have been a journalist, with your experience and the history of Nigeria, you will agree with me that Nigeria is a mistake because of the tribal and dangerous diversity in Nigeria, which is also a destructive diversity. So when you give the people the choice to choose how they want to live, that is a true democracy. A democracy is not when you bring in the military and invade communities, burn the communities because people are protesting. You kill them. Is that democracy? Do you do that in the United Kingdom? The answer is no.
But what about your role in all this? Your tweets.
My role.
Wait a minute. Your role in all this. Your tweets and your social media. Why the need for violence?
It is. Yeah.
At least 1,500 people died in the last 3 presidential election campaigns.
Was it my fault then?
And there have been deaths so far in this one too.
That's what we want to correct by making sure we do not continue to validate an evil entity that subject their citizens to death. So the only problem, the only solution to this is to disintegrate this evil entity and allow people to make their choice so that they can develop and, practice politics in the best way possible, just like the Europeans here.
So are you justifying the violence that comes from the kind of stuff that you...
It is not, the violence is not about what I do. It is the provocation of the policy of Nigeria. Okay? So it is a long time bomb coming. So what you see happening now, Nigeria have a history of violence from the beginning of Nigeria. After independence, every election in Nigeria has witnessed violence. So it is not about me. I am here as a good guy to put an end, to have a lasting solution to the violence that have caused the life of thousands of Nigerians.
But do you not accept that some of the things that you say has engendered this kind of...
From your own perspective, you can translate it and interpret it however you want. But from my own perspective, I think I am the good guy trying to teach the people that they have a right.
So there's no blood on your hands?
There is no blood on my hand. There are more blood on those supporting the election, supporting this particular coming election. They have more blood in their hand.
Yes.
In Imo State, you have a governor that have invaded his own state, killed people, and why are you people not talking about that? Those are the people that have blood in their hand. All the people that have been elected in Nigeria since 1960 all have had bloods in their hand, and nobody is asking the question. I am just the good guy who say enough is enough. Somebody have to say something, and somebody have to do something, and we're doing it.
But couldn't you make more progress if you were in the tent, as it were, not rather than out of the tent?
You can't.
In another country.
You can. Sorry.
You're in Finland.
Yes.
So wouldn't it be better if you went back home and did the political thing there?
You should know. You see, I learn from what happened to others. I don't want to put my life in danger because the country, as far as I'm concerned, does not exist. Any country that does not respect the rule of law doesn't exist.
You're scared you might be killed?
Not everybody. You know that. You can say that as well. Yes.
There's a bounty on
because yes, there's a bounty on my head because Nigeria, because of the Islamic agenda in Nigeria, whoever that rises up to say something that will, make the life of the people to be better, they want to kill the person. They assassinate people every day. And today you see that there is a video that has been released by a man called Ikenga Imo, when an assassin invaded his house and they wanted to kill him. They are police officers. But if there is no CCTV, they will say unknown gunmen. These are the people that are causing all this crisis in Biafra land. But without that video, everybody has concluded that they are unknown gunmen. Today we have known them. What are the government doing about it? What are the international community doing about it? Every evidences that have surfaced anywhere about CCTV camera, it has always been security agent from the Nigeria state. Nobody is talking about that. That is what we are fighting against. We are defending ourselves and we have armed ourselves to fight Nigeria till the last day. We have done it before. The only difference now is that today we have social media. If social media was there in the 1960s, somebody will do what I'm doing today. In those days, you have a man called Okokondem. Okokondem was broadcasting for Radio Biafra and was propagating Biafra stuff, but because there were no social media, so he would have done even what I'm doing today, I believe so. So this is what will make a difference. And my activities on social media is educating the people, telling them they are right, that you have a right to say no, and you have the right to say yes.
Who's funding you and your organization?
Biafra people are funding my organization.
Not the Tinubu party.
I have nothing to do with Tinubu. And it's very funny. A lot of people said Tinubu paid me 25 million. How is that possible? How is it possible?
You're denying he did.
I don't know who is Tinubu. I have never communicated with anybody close to him. Just like the way they forged the letter. The reason why this letter issue, Nigeria is a criminal country. They breed criminals. And that's what we're fighting against. The reason why the letter on gets sorted out easily and fast was because it was against Finland. And Finland have to officially react to the letter. And the letter went viral. There are so many lies against me out there on social media. Nobody could come and say it is not true. Okay? So and those lies, when they continue to say it and maintain it, it becomes truth when nobody debunk it.
You talk about criminals. Do you think the candidates for the presidency are criminals?
They are all criminals, yes. all of them.
Even Peter Obi.
Peter Obi is a criminal.
But he's a southerner, isn't he? Like,
He doesn't. I am not
you.
a tribal. Listen, I'm not a tribalist. I'm not a tribalist, and that is what makes us different. We want. If I'm criticizing you, I criticize you with fact and figures. I'm going to tell you how all of them are. Do I explain? One, starting from Atiku. Atiku was indicted in the United States for money laundering. He's a criminal. How do you think if Nigeria is a United States, Atiku will come back and start contesting with the criminal record he has to have for money laundering? Tinubu was indicted in the United States for drug pushing. The records are there, so it's criminal. Nigeria is being ruled by criminals, and they bring criminals. Peter Obi his name was in Pandora. He didn't deny it. It's also the part of money laundering, international money laundering crime. He has $15 million in offshore accounts.
But surely Obi, being a southerner, is on the side of your people.
That is the problem. Why must you have somebody that have to be in the side of my people? That is the dangerous diversity that have brought us this far, because it will never work. Everything about Nigeria is what favors my people. I don't want we want a Biafra where everything favors everybody. But when you have Nigeria, it is either Fulani. Now we don't even have Hausa anymore because Fulani have overshadowed them. So it is either you are fighting for Northerner as a Fulani Muslim, or you are fighting for Yorubas, or you are fighting for Igbo people. So how can you continue in that kind of system? This is why we must make sure that we do not validate Nigeria again. So let me just say that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, cool. It's a meter. Yeah. Sorry, that's my security. Yeah.
Right. What's your relationship with Mr. Kanu at the moment?
Kanu is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, and I regard him as my leader.
Did you talk? Do you have contact with him?
Well, we communicate somehow, but that's a confidential issue.
Because you see, he's disavowed violence. He thinks he's made statements to say that
everybody condemn violence. I condemn violence. I've always condemned violence on social media. Maybe you don't follow that. But where is the violence coming? Who are those committing the violence? They're the Nigeria state. And their intention is to use violence to blackmail what we're doing. And of course, you do not expect people who are Nigerians who are angry, who have lost hope. And the next thing you see from them is when you are hopeless, you become violent. So what is happening now is not caused by anybody. It is caused by the system itself. And until we begin to understand that the violence happening in Nigeria is being generated by the Nigeria system itself, we will never be telling ourselves the truth.
Are you going to rein in your rhetoric a little bit now? Because we're in the election period. You know your word, people hang on to your words, and it can cause some violence, can't it?
Well, I don't care. We are already at war. In Biafra side of Nigeria, there is a war going on there, and I don't know why media are not covering it. Do you see a democratic place where the plane will be throwing bombs to the people? It's war. The villages are getting burnt, houses are getting burnt. Even in Ukraine, where you're going to now, the number of people dying in Biafra land outnumber the people dying in Ukraine. So how do you balance that? And who are doing this? The Nigeria themselves, the Nigeria state. When the military comes to the village, instead of protecting the people, they get angry because they obey our orders and then they start burning their villages. So we don't want to continue like that. We want to have, the only solution to this is the disintegration of Nigeria. And if Nigeria do not disintegrate now, the disintegration later on will be very, very, very chaotic. To be very hard before international community, if they continue to let us manage this and force people into election in Biafra land, when this time bomb is going to explode, it will affect everyone.
One last question.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the election?
Election is not happening in Biafra land.
Because you don't want people to vote?
Not me. Biafra have decided. I am telling you the fact. There is nothing that will make Biafran's people to go out and vote. This is a life and death matter. We have come a long way. For over 50 years, Nigeria have done all manner of genocide, committed genocide against our people, kill us every day, and you expect us to allow them to continue to kill us, to elect governors that will bring military and militarize our territory? We can't do that again.
That's 11 million votes, isn't it?
Nobody will vote in Biafra land. I am telling you the fact. It will shock the world. We've made up our mind and we know what we have on ground. Nobody will vote in Biafra land.
Even if that undermines the rest of the...
It is not undermining, no. This particular civil disobedience is also a democratic process. And I want you to see it in that perspective. When people say, I don't want, it is their choice. And if you think that there are people who want to vote that are bigger in number, conduct a referendum. As simple as that. For now, we control 90% of Biafra people. 90%.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
So, Biafrans, you have once again re-listened to that interview, and you heard how Simon Ekpa had explained, and with plain language, the reason we do what we do. It is not that we just woke up one day and decided to make our decision, but the Nigerian government system forced us into making the right decisions, because most of us, we are blind, but now our eyes are open, and that is the great work of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to some things, and him taking the lead while we support him and bringing our own ideas and our own knowledge of what we know, things we know about Nigeria and in diaspora, accompanying him while he takes the lead. So if Nigeria is an egalitarian society, why should they seize Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's condition today has gone beyond imprisonment. It is a tyrannical seizure of the Nigerian government, whereby the Nigerian courts had already declared Mazi Nnamdi Kanu innocent, completely innocent, and nobody should withhold him now. But because they want to impose this election on you, on us, they seized Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Why are those people telling you to go out tomorrow and vote, no longer telling you about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release? We are not to forget that Simon Ekpa had said, if the Nigerian government should release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on or before the 22nd of this February, which was day before yesterday, so as soon as they release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, that he will, that is, he will remove, he will call off the sit at home, both Monday sit at home and pre-election sit at home. He said he will call it off, and because Nigeria government failed to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before the 22nd, that is the reason he said that Biafrans should go ahead to observe the sit at home, yesterday being 23rd and today being 24th as well. And tomorrow's own will be overall a total lockdown of Biafra land. That is what it should be. And from there you will see the troublemakers among the indigenous Biafrans who will go to support Nigeria election. Tomorrow is the day you are to know them all. Tomorrow is the day you are to know them all. Because those people telling you to go and vote are the haters of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They should be saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released. And if he is not released, there will not be any election in Biafra land. That is what they will be telling you. But they are not telling you that. But they are telling you to turn against Simon Ekpa, to turn against autopiloters, to turn against us, the IPOB truth bearers, and to turn against me, evangelist Inyima Kawo, for telling you the truth, for giving you the liberation truth, the truth that will set you free and set me free. The way you want freedom is the same way I want freedom. So, if Simon Ekpa is doing the wrong thing, why is the international community talking about him? Why are they talking about him, negotiating with him, to see how they will convince him for him to call off the pre-election sit-at-home order? But even in their interview, he also defeats them with facts and the figures. Can you imagine that they wrote a fraudulent letter with the name of Finnish government against Simon Ekpa, and the Finnish government came out to debunk that letter, saying that Simon Ekpa is a confidential, a bona fide Finnish citizen, that that the Finnish government did not write the letter, and they never sent anybody to write on their behalf. That is to tell you, because these people know that we have committed no crime. They know that Nigeria is a criminal government being controlled by Fulani terrorists. They know the truth. And they know that we really need help. But because of global injustice, under global conspiracy, they are not giving us the necessary justice we need. And that is what we are demanding for. So this sit-at-home is about letting the people that we are tired of Nigerianism, and we are welcoming Biafranism, and that we really mean our self-determination. That is what it conveys, the sit-at-home, the ones that we have been observing and the one we are going to observe tomorrow. If you really love Biafra restoration, if you really love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's liberation, because even if Obi happen or anybody happen to become the next Nigerian president to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is still a release under political solution. Under political solution, because they have already conducted their elections before releasing him. While Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was about to stop them from holding the election. So I want to tell you the way they are intelligently playing over your brain, which you may not fathom unless you are told. And that is the reason we do what we do. So support Simon Ekpa, support us, support Evangelist Inyima Kawo, which is myself, support IPOB Truth Bearer, support autopiloters. It is because of us that the world is talking about Biafra until today. The plans of the enemies is to end Biafra struggle, and if they have succeeded, they will plan on how to assassinate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but we are blocked to them. They will not do it. Can you imagine the Nigerian government talking about us? We have become the topic of the Nigerian journalists that is throughout this year 2023, starting from January until now. That is how powerful we are. It is not by might, it is not by our own power, but it is because God is with us. And it is so evident and marvelous in the eyes of the people. We are doing what the world never ever believed, but it is happening and it is real. Because we are doing the real thing, because we are innocent, because they have no reason to trap us down. So that is the reason we are doing what we are doing, and that is the reason they cannot stop us from doing what we are doing. So yes, I want to play the last video of this program. I was arrested on Thursday, 23 February 2023. And when you get to the station... Okay, before that video, let me play. There is another one I should play before that.
I don't actually know how I'm feeling, but I feel blessed. Like now, right now,
you blessed, that you are sound, you are good. Well, people. You're welcome. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, my favorite Biafran. I want you to take a screenshot of this. In Nigeria will cry. This is the end of the impunity. Nigeria will cry. Nigeria will cry at last. Welcome everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're from. You are watching live and direct on Diaspora Channel 1 on IPOB autopilot platform all over the world. And we are streaming live all the way from Finland. And the time now is 14 past the hour anywhere you are in the world. 14 past the hour anywhere you are in the world. In Finland, this is 14 past 8 p.m. In the zoo, it's 14 past 7 p.m. In Biafra, it's 14 past 7 p.m. Welcome. This is the 23rd day of February 2023, and we have just concluded the first sit at home, which I have read. And thank you all the Biafrans. Thank you for not disappointing us. Thank you all for not disappointing us. Tomorrow is another day. We want even the fowl, the chicken, and the goat not to go out tomorrow. And then the second day, we're going to speak in a different heavenly language. Biafra people, I love you all. I love you all. I am back to finish what has started. I don't fight without finishing. I told you, God is going to use me to end Nigeria. And if you are going to be the stumbling block for the freedom, God will also use me to deal with you. I am your last bus stop. I am your last bus stop. Completely last bus stop. If you cross me, we show you where you belong. Welcome you all. As we will be here to make this broadcast a little bit different kind of broadcast today. I am watching a lot of things going on.
That is after
so
it
much
was
interrogation, and they asked him to come back on Friday, being 24th.
That is after it was rumored yesterday that Simon Ekpa had been arrested by Finnish police over his Biafra agitation. After the rumor, someone sent me the news, but I was not sure and I couldn't believe it. And for many reasons. The reason is that, at least by the grace of God, this year is my 18th year in Europe. My 18th year in Europe, and I know how some things function. The Finnish police had not convicted him of any crime. So they cannot just pick him up to jail him. Before they will jail him, they must convict him of any criminality. So they have not convicted him. They may ask him to, they may invite him to interrogate him why he does what he is doing. Then he may justify himself and go free. Even if there is any trace of criminality, they will not jail him immediately. They will not jail him immediately. They will take him to court where his case will be judged. And it should be after the judgment, when he is condemned to be sentenced, that is when the police will sentence him. But if he goes to court and wins the case, he will also go free and continue doing what he is doing. And after the police interrogation, they will fix a date. If there is any need to go to the court, they will fix a date for the court, of which the election is just tomorrow. So if they fix the date 1 week ahead or 2 weeks ahead, which means Simon Ekpa will accomplish what he wants to do for against the election before that date, until the court hears from him. That is when they will either justify him or they declare him guilty. But the police, the Finnish police, had not let the world know that Simon Ekpa had committed any crime that should warrant him going to court for questioning and for defense. If there is, they will make it clear to the public so that whosoever that will be speaking against or in favor of Simon Ekpa will know why. So we are living in the civilized nations, in some of the civilized nations. This is not like Nigeria or any other part of Africa, whereby police just intimidate whomsoever they wish and they jail the person. No, it is not here. So forget about those who we are rumoring all those sort of nonsense. That is what had prompted Simon Ekpa to come up yesterday night to declare to the world that he is still free. Nobody has incarcerated him. That is in the favor of the enemies of the progress of Biafrans, because that yesterday made me to know more and more of those whom I never believed that they are against what we are doing to liberating us, the Biafrans. That yesterday I came to know that more and more that some of the people we have trusted are one Nigerianists. They are one Nigerianists. And these people are talking, condemning Simon Ekpa, condemning the operation of the autopiloters, including the truth that I am speaking. But they are no longer talking about the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu who is seized. Then they continue to deceive our people to let them know that they should vote P2B. When P2B becomes the president, he will go and release Mazi Nnamdi. That is an absolute nonsense. When P2B become the president after they have conducted their election, that is the political solution they have been telling you about. But if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had been free all this while, it should not even be Simon Ekpa doing all this. It should be Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continuing what he had been doing. So my people reason it from this perspective. Reason it from this perspective, because this is the purpose of this wonderful platform, which is Ima Biafra TV, Treasury of Excellent Knowledge. Treasury of Excellent Knowledge will bring the knowledge to the excellent level, whereby you hear from me, you hear from my comrades, then you go higher to the higher realm of thinking. Readers are leaders, thinkers are commanders. That is the reason I have chosen the both parts. I am a reader, I am also a thinker. And that is what makes me a professor of Okechiche. If you are lacking, come and share with me. That is the reason I come here to declare to document my intelligence, to help people go higher realm, and most especially our Biafran people and Africans and humanity, people of good conscience, to be going to the higher realm of thinking, higher realm of reasoning, and reasoning appropriately, developing their discernment, their discretion, also their rationality. So all of these people speaking against us, who are indigenous to Biafra, these are the people I am talking about most especially. They are the enemies of the progress of Biafra restoration. But in disguise, they want to make you believe that they really want to help you by asking you to go and vote Peter Obi. We are not interested in voting anybody. We are not interested of them having their election in any other part of the Fulani terrorist environment called Nigeria. We are not interested on what Peter Obi will do after the election. And these people are living by speculation, but we are living in reality. They are talking based on what they think, but we are talking based on what we are sure of happening. Peter Obi becoming the Nigerian president to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu means that they had already achieved their own aim, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should stop if he was not kidnapped. So, also I want to give you another wonderful secret here. The secret we are maintaining on no election in Biafra land, and we maintain our stand about Biafra, is that whatever the outcome may be, the world will bear us witness that we have never at any time supported one Nigeria. So we'll stand on our ground anytime, any day, and at anywhere, and before any people, to say our demand is our demand, and our demand is Biafra restoration, and not anything that has to do with one Nigeria. Because if we surrender our demand, tomorrow they will use it against us. They will tell us that we had once upon a time surrendered the Biafra agitation. That is the reason we cannot surrender the Biafra agitation. And if we surrender the Biafra agitation, nobody will speak for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu anymore. Forget about all these sellouts. Forget about the sellouts who are telling you about political solution. All these people are sellouts. So before that, let me before I conclude, I want to play the last video of the program.
Yes, my people. Simon Ekpa was arrested on Thursday, February 2023. And when he gets to the station, so much interrogation, and they asked him to come back on Friday, being 24th, February 2023. All we have to do now, all hands on deck, we must write to Finnish police and let them know more about Simon activity, terrorist activity in our land, killing of women and children, destroying our land, kidnapping, forcing people against their will. That is what we have to do. There is email I'm going to attach here. One email is for Finnish police, and the second one is for his party chairman in Finland. Simon Ekpa is a politician in Finland. His party chairman, they also write him. That is the information now. All hands must be on deck. Simon is the architect of all the kidnapping in our land. For that, use that email. If you know all the atrocities he has been committing, let them know. We are fighting for freedom. We are not to kill anybody. We are not to force anybody against their will. I've said it several times. If you believe in one Nigeria, make your vote as you wish. We Biafra cannot stop anybody from voting. We cannot force anybody. So that is all. Now Simon Ekpa is killing all the political parties in Nigeria in the name of fighting for freedom. He's a terrorist. And we have to make it fast. By the time he gets to Finnish police tomorrow, so that he will be detained there. Everybody, this email, there's email I'm going to attach here. Keep writing, tell them all the atrocities, the kidnapping, everything. Everything you know about Simon Ekpa, all the evil he has been doing in our land. Send it to that email on Finnish police. Thank you, and God bless you, everyone. Day one. O nwere no email ga dị here. Email lab Finnish police and the party Simon Ekpanon go through the write up. Ka Simon Lufonya de Meliora. O kana afugoro kpokokpokokpoko. Police ejide die. E release ya na chi atapa. Aga kpolokwa ya tomorrow. And the tomorrow ga be final. That tomorrow ga be final. So he will email and we manage he kidnapping ni no nene. Ide ya email wolo hanya. He send the email. Also so bido na abania. Debe ni emu manage he ni no nene. Si debe li the police in the Finland and the party chairman ya Anakbo Mike nde won.
Onyemechuba said he will drop.
Hey, people, this one go too hot.
Onyemechuba said he will drop an email address belonging to the Finnish police through which anybody can write to them and against Simon Ekpa and writing about the criminality Simon Ekpa have been committing, the crimes he has been committing in Biafra land over the years. So, and according to him, he said Simon Ekpa is also invited once again today by the same police, by the same Finnish police, and when he goes to meet with them or talk with them, that will be the end of him, that he will no longer return. That means he will be jailed. I don't want to use the word that he will not come back alive, but he will be jailed. That is what Onyemechu Oba is conveying to Biafrans and to the world at large. And I want to let you know that Onyemechu Oba is talking out of ignorance and also out of illiteracy and out of hate, not really out of reality and not out of knowledge. Why am I saying this? First of all, Onyemechu Oba will first of all has to provide evidences of every crime he claims against Simon Ekpa. Likewise, anybody who will write to the Finnish police must provide evidences of those crimes. And he is categorically declaring it that Simon Ekpa is responsible for killing and causing of mayhem in Biafra land. Where is his evidence? Because I cannot just say that without any evidence, because it may be Hope Uzodimma, it may be the politicians. And we know certainly that the Nigerian police, the Fulani terrorists in Nigerian uniform, in army uniform, and also in other disguise, including some members of Ebubago, go and kill people. They go to hunt political opponents of each of the politicians. Also, they kill our people, harvesting their organs and marketing their organs. Killing people and marketing human organs is going on in Biafra land. So how can someone get up any day and attribute the whole crime to Simon Ekpa? They have been saying all this for over 1 year, getting to 2 years. Yet they have not provided any evidence for that. So that is them speaking out of hate. So it is not possible to me, I may be wrong, but that 24th he's talking about is today. Let us see whether the Finnish government will pick up Simon Ekpa to jail him today, that he will no longer come out again without any proof, without convicting him, first of all, of any crime. They will just go and jail him like that. Here in Europe, where people are civilized, this is not one of the animal kingdoms like Nigeria. This is a human kingdom of Europe. So things like that never happen, including in that Turkey where Onyemechu Oba lives. Such things do not happen. But I am telling you the reason they do not progress with the Biafra movement. It is because of this kind of attitude. And I want to tell you the ulterior motive behind Onyemaechi Ubah's statement. I am using him as a classical example and relating it to all of the people who have been propagating the rumor that Simon Ekpa had been arrested by the Finnish police. It is because the IPOB POS, leading the IPOB political solutionists, are losing their relevance day after day. They are losing power control over the Biafra struggle day after day. And the Simon Ekpa is gaining momentum day after day. The autopiloters are gaining momentum day after day. We, the IPOB truth bearers, are gaining momentum day after day. And me personally, Evangelist Inimakalo, I am gaining momentum day after day. The reason is our consistency. We are consistent, but these people are inconsistent. When I want to tell you about anybody, I come with facts and figures. I don't fossilize and I don't try to provoke hate against anybody. I will debunk the person, or I will debunk the people based on the things they should not do, they are doing, and also based on the things they are not supposed to be doing, which they are doing. So they are losing relevance, and these are the kind of the people with the mindset of, rather than Simon Ekpa to take the lead of this Biafra agitation, it is better we stop the Biafra agitation or we spoil everything. They will not be satisfied to support Simon Ekpa. They will not be satisfied to support autopiloters. They will not be satisfied to support people like me and support IPOB truth bearers. They are power mongers. They want to have all of us under their control. At the same time, they are sellouts. Today they talk about Biafra, tomorrow they talk about P2B. They are not reliable, they are inconsistent. We don't know, they are like snake in the night, of which head we don't know where it lies. We don't know where they are striking from and whom they are striking against. So that is the reason people cannot trust them anymore. So there is a paradigm shift. The trust people have on IPOB is more being transferred to Simon Ekpa and the autopiloters, including us, the IPOB truth bearers, and they are going, the Onyemaechi Ubah, the IPOB POS-led political solutionists are going crazy over this, and they cannot recover it. The only reason that will make them to recover it is if Simon Ekpa begins to compromise, if the autopiloters begin to compromise, if us, the IPOB truth bearers, begin to compromise. But hence we maintain our integrity and we really mean well and we remain consistent. We must continue to progress. And Onyemaechi Ubah have told the world that Simon Ekpa will go to the Finnish police today and will no longer return. But I am telling you that Simon Ekpa will go there and return. Let us watch out. May God bless you for listening. I remain your serviceable servant, Evangelist Inimakalo. Nkenke Inachu Igwenye also. Ahuche Ndenso, a professor of Okechiche. Small body no be sickness. Ojezo Kwemeri Ogunkembo no wanile. Sagandozi Obodo. All these things, including more, are my titles. So may God bless you for giving me your attentive ear. The program has come to an end. Also, do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not subscribed to it. Share the video. Encourage others to be subscribing. As I promised you last year, as I promised you the previous years, remember that I have not disappointed you. Neither will I disappoint you this time around or in the future. I will keep on bringing the truth based on fact and the figure to you, whereby anything I tell you is accurate regarding what is happening. So because I am a good analyst by the grace of God. So, and I mean well for our people. I don't take side with anybody. Anyone who does well, I tell you the person has done well in this area. And when the person goes wrong, I still let you know that the person has gone wrong. So let me stop it from here. Until I come your way once again, remain blessed. I remain your service of a servant, evangelist, Imakalo. Thank you, and God bless you.